Buenas tardes. Voy a hacer esta sesión en inglés because my Spanish is a little bit, it's bad, it's not good. But the idea for today is to talk about voice AI agent. How can we connect our agents and also our team's connection, our chat with an agent behind the scenes. We can connect with Azure, OpenAI, or Gemini, Amazon, or any other AI solutions. So the idea is to show how to build behind the scenes. So there are different ways to build this integration, but the idea is to show a low-code experience. How can you start from scratch by using a no-code experience? So before I start, I'd like to say thank you for our sponsors that are supporting this event. So let me present myself. My name is Renato. I'm from Brazil. In Brazil, we don't speak Spanish. 5% of the population speak English, and also like 2 or 3% speak Spanish only. So I'm from São Paulo. I've been working in a company in Ireland, delivering some solutions with Microsoft 365, Power Platform, Copilot Studio, and also AI solutions, and also delivering some trainings to Microsoft as well. So if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn as well, this QR code. And also I have a lot of content in Portuguese. If you want to scan this the second one, it's not the Twitter, it's basically my website that basically have some content about Copilot Studio for free. So you can sign up. We have like almost 10 hours for free for the community. And also, yeah, that's it. And also have a YouTube channel, but most of the content are in Portuguese as well. Today is a special day for me as well, because it's cumpleaños for minha esposa. When I was trying to submit the session, I was discussing this is part of this is your birthday, and also you'll be coming with me, and also you enjoy this trip as well. So we have a raffle today, and basically this raffle is for free. So basically you can sign up. You can scan this QR code. This is the Microsoft Reactor T-shirt. It's a medium T-shirt. It's from the Microsoft Reactor São Paulo. So I bought this T-shirt from the community just to raffle for you. And also we are not training, so it's basically your name. That's it. So, and also remember me to raffle at the end of this session. All good? Just one. Here we go. So the agenda for today, basically we have our introduction. So I will explain why we are moving, why we are using a voice AI agent. So key terms and also concepts that are important when we are using AI solutions in general. Azure AI services, and also our demo that is to not demonstrate, but how to show you and also to train you to build an agent by using Teams, Power Automate, Azure OpenAI, and also AI Builder and Copilot Studio, different things if you want to go to different ways. And also to show the architecture as well. First of all, why voice AI agents in modern teams? So basically, sometimes we have different problems that we must solve in the business scenario. So the first one is basically a voice message can't be scanned like text. So we often have a delay. So when we are sending audio messages, often people try to use WhatsApp to send audio message to talk about the business or to talk about the customers, sales, or to discuss some points. And also in this case, it's not good because sometimes you need to search, and also it's impossible. And also if you receive an audio like 1 minute in Teams, there's no way to press 2 times. So you need to wait 1 minute waiting, hearing the audio. The second problem is basically if you want to search, you cannot search about the audio message. So you cannot find the text there. So we often need to extract the content, send the key terms after the audio message just to try to find this information later. So in this case, it's another problem. And also sometimes we have a meeting, and also we need to summary the meeting and also send to our clients by using email or by using Teams, or any other communication channel that we use. So in this case, it's another problem, because in this case, if we have an audio message, we need to transcribe this information before sending to the client. And also sometimes, depending on the tone that we are saying, we have different expressions, and also we are losing those contexts as well. So in this case, it's good to have an audio message. So about voice search statistics, so basically about 20% of people globally use voice search. So in this case, we are not only using Siri, Alexa, or any other integration, but a search in general. Some people are opening their phone and also sending an audio message to Google. So yeah, let me stop it.
Sorry, I can't send audio messages for you.
Here you go. So almost 9 billion voice assistants are expected to be in use in the worldwide. So in this case, we are going forward to this position. We have a lot of AI assistants. We are talking about AI assistant connected to Copilot. When we send a message to Copilot, we have a Copilot in WhatsApp. And also we are connected to different platforms. But how can we combine in just one place that we can send an audio message and also we can extract this information? And also we have 93% of queries accurately. So this is a big problem, because sometimes we are configuring the AI assistant to speak only one language. When we are using different models like Azure, OpenAI models, we can have different languages, and also we can set up different languages. And the AI, it's not a problem to send an audio with a lot of sound around me during the event, because the AI will recognize my voice, recognize the language, and also try to extract the information. And also, it's really important to think about the performance as well. When we are sending a message to the AI assistant, we often take like 20 seconds if we are developing with Azure OpenAI, but if you are using ChatGPT, it's like 5 seconds to have the response. So when we are using a voice agent, we need to think about the performance. So the agent that I built it's taking like 15 to 20 seconds to recognize the message, reading the content, and also passing to the AI assistant. But yeah, in this case, we are losing. Sometimes we are sending an audio message, and also it's taking too much time. And also the user experience, it's really important when we are talking about AI. Over 1 billion voice searches are performed every month. So in this case, it's increasing all the time. All people are trying to use and also using in different ways. And also, often people are trying to search, to use voice search just to find local business. But in this case, if you want to connect with your data, imagine that you are going to the client, and also you need to send an audio message to summary your meeting. And then you need to summary your meeting by using an AI and automatically send an email to the client with the summary of the meeting, or to create some actions into the to-do list, or create some tasks to the planner, or connect to the SharePoint site and create the opportunity into the SharePoint list. So we have a lot of integrations that we can use, not only to find the information, but to take some actions. So that is the reason that Microsoft is changing the content in Copilot Studio, for example. Previously, we had actions and knowledge base. Right now, we have knowledge plus tools. Because tools, it's not only to search or to get content. Sometimes we need to take some actions. Sometimes we need to connect to different platforms. So in this case, it's really important to think and also to design the best user experience. And also when we are talking about AI, we have a lot of terms. So we have GPT, a large language model, speech to text, text to speech, and also we have a lot of content. But basically, Azure OpenAI service is a platform. So basically, we have ChatGPT. So instead of using ChatGPT that we are exposing our data, so we can use Azure OpenAI, that is a secure place that we can create our models. And basically, a model is like a trained way to pass my information, and also we have different model types. So for example, if I want to complete my phrase, like I would like to, and also send a message to the AI, if I use chat completion, basically they are completing the phrase. And also if we are using a knowledge, so a database, for example, a SharePoint site, SharePoint documents, data bricks, data lakes in general. We can use embedding. That basically it's a different model type that can extract this information and combine in different chunks. That is basically the numbers that we have inside the documents. We have Whisper. Basically, Whisper is a way to extract the content from, it's a model to extract content from an audio message. So in this case, you can combine not only to send an audio message, but if you want to train your AI solution, or if you want to train your assistant to connect with YouTube videos to extract information, and also stream videos if you are recording your sessions on Teams. So basically, you can connect Whisper with embedding just to train the information, because you can extract the content from a video or from an audio message. You can pass to the AI, and the AI can just summarize as a text. We have GPT. Basically, it's a large language model that we can use. We have small language model as well. That is depending on the business. We often use large language models. That is GPT-4o, GPT-4o mini, GPT 4.5. We have different options. But in some use case, we don't want to expend too much money by using large language models. For some use case, if I need to do only a specific task, I can use small language model that is cheaper and also could do the same task that I need to do. Prompt engineering, this is the important part. Often people spend like a month developing the solution and a day just to describe the prompt and describe the instructions that they want to extract by using AI. But this is really important. So the recommendation is always to spend like a week to develop the solution and also a month to develop the prompt, because depending on different scenarios, we have different ways and different behaviors when we are using our AI. Speech to text and text to speech, basically in this case, we are using Whisper to do that. So Whisper basically is the speech to text. We can send an audio message, an audio content. The Whisper can extract the information, and the output will be a text information. We have Bot Framework that I'm not using right now, Bot Framework for this demo. But if you want to use Bot Framework, let me try to open the Bot Framework here. Here we go. So in this case, if you want to build a Bot Framework, you don't need to use C# or Node.js or something like that. So sometimes you can use a no-code experience, like Bot Framework Composer, that basically you can connect, and also you can do the same integration, but instead of developing from scratch, you can create a new item, and also you can create from an existing template. So this is really good. And also you can connect it to Teams, and then if you want to connect it to WhatsApp as well. So in this case, there's an option in the Bot Framework Composer that you can publish, and also you can deploy to Azure as an Azure communication service. And there you can deploy to WhatsApp, Telegram, Skype, Facebook, and different platforms as well. Adaptive cards, sometimes we don't need to just send a text message. We want to customize the user experience. So in this case, if you want to send a summary in a different way, or to send some options to the user instead of typing, they can select different options and click on a button. Basically, we can customize by using adaptive cards. And the last one, that is cognitive services, that basically we can use an AI as well. Cognitive services is not new, so we have like 8 years in total or more. So basically, this is the Microsoft Azure AI services. So when we are talking about AI, we are not only using Azure OpenAI, that is the mainly one right now, because most of the people are using Azure OpenAI. But when we are talking about Azure AI, we are talking about different services that we can use. Sometimes we don't need to use an Azure OpenAI services model specifically, because in this case, depending on the model that you have, you expend 5 cents in dollars just to send an message and also to receive the output. In this case, if you send to Azure AI Speech, or for example, if you pass to the Azure AI Document Intelligence, the Azure AI Document Intelligence, instead of sending the document to the Azure OpenAI model, you can send to the Azure AI Document Intelligence for free until you have like 1,000 pages in a document. So in this case, you can use the services that we have available in the Azure. So not only Azure OpenAI, but you can combine both. And also you can combine all of them with Copilot Studio, for example, or Power Platform, any other services that you want to use. So this is the voice AI agents using low code. Some options that we have here. I didn't use them, but you can use Microsoft Graph, for example, to extract information from the Microsoft 365 scenario. So in this case, if you need to load the data from Microsoft Planner, SharePoint List, SharePoint Documents, or different platforms inside Microsoft 365, you can use Microsoft Graph. Teams AI library. So in this case, if you want to build an AI agent instead of building from scratch, there are some templates that basically you only need to do the prompt engineering. That is basically type some instructions to the AI and press deploy, and basically you're deploying to Teams as well. So this is another option that you can use. Bot Framework, that is the Bot Framework Composer, and also Copilot Studio. With Copilot Studio, you not only can deploy on Teams by using the voice message, it's not possible yet, but if you want to have a number to call and also to talk to the agent, you can use Copilot Studio. So this is an option available. If I'm not wrong, it's not available for all Power Platform environments, for all Power Platform locations, but you can use in the US. So if your Power Platform environment is located in the US, you can create a Copilot Studio voice. It's basically for free. You only need to have a Copilot Studio agent, and also you can connect to the options, like if the user press 1, we go to topic 1. If the user press 2, we are going to send an audio message, or we are sending this response to the user, or we are asking a different question. So we have a lot of options by using a low-code experience. If we go to the pro code, we can use Azure OpenAI, we can use machine learning, we have a lot of options by using an AI. But this is a low-code experience. So let me go to the demo part. So let me check here if I can show. Let me open my phone first. So basically I have the Teams available here. I will open in the screen in a minute. So basically I have a team, and also basically I have a conversation. Could be an user, could be a bot, but I'm using as an user. And also basically I can send an audio message to the AI. So in this case I can send a message like, hello, I had a meeting with the sales team from Renato's company, and also we discussed about AI, voice, planner, Copilot Studio, and so on. The next steps will be create a meeting for next week, and also discuss the next steps to deliver the project. So basically, we are sending the message to the AI. So let me connect here. Let me block my. Let me turn on the Bluetooth. It's taking some seconds, but basically I received the message, so let me try to connect it again. Let me block. So basically I received a text. So let me wait a second. Timeout. So probably it's the connection that I'm using. I'm using a different connection here, but no worries. So basically, I can open in a browser. So let me open in a browser. I think it's better. So teams.microsoft.com. Let me get the password. Teams. Developer 1. So I don't have the password for this one, but it's not a problem as well. So in general, what I'm doing here, I'm receiving the message, so I can take a screenshot. Let me take a screenshot, and send to the computer. So it's taking some time. Here we go. I received the output, and this is the output. So basically, this is I send an audio message to the AI. The AI recognize the client, so the client name, Renato's company, and also the overview for the meeting. The meeting involved discussions about AI, voice technology, planner, tools, and so on. Questions and issues, deliverables, so specific details about the project deliverables remaining unresolved, and also the next steps, the follow-up with the meeting, with the client. So a meeting next week with the sales team, prepare the detailed agenda for voice AI and so on. So in this case, we can just connect things by just sending a message to the AI. And also in this case, I was using a simple text by using Markdown. But if I want to use adaptive cards, I can connect with adaptive cards, send a list to the users, and the users can click on the button and basically take some actions like send a meeting or create the items or anything else. So let me show the information, the architecture behind the scenes, and then I explain each tool that I was using. So this is the architecture that I was using. So basically we have the channel available. So let me play this one. I think it's better. Here we go. So we have the channel that basically we are using the end user sending an audio message to the teams. We have the trigger that basically is a Power Automate workflow that basically when the message is received, basically we are starting the workflow. We are passing the audio, we are trying to get the content from the audio by using Microsoft Graph. So in this case, we are trying to read the content by using Microsoft Graph. We cannot read the content directly because in the Teams message is only the Teams content. So there is an information like the link and the information, the internal ID, but there's no content behind the scenes, like base 6.4 or any other information. So in this case, I need to pass to the Microsoft Graph to extract the information first, and then I can go to the next step, that is, I have the content, the base 6.4, that is the content, and then basically I'm passing to the speech-to-text, the whisper, by using Azure OpenAI. The Azure OpenAI is extracting the information, and today I'm sending to Azure OpenAI again to a chat completion by passing some system, by passing assistant prompt with some instructions to extract this information. But this is optional. You can connect with different AI services. So in this case, if you want to use Gemini or ChatGPT, if you want to pass this information, or if you want to use if you want to pass the content to Power Platform, you can do that as well. And the last option is basically after retrieving the content, passing to the AI, we can connect to the knowledge base. So in this case, we can not only retrieve the content, but we can create some items like Excel file, Azure AI search. So in this case, there's an option into the Azure OpenAI if you want to request Azure OpenAI plus Azure AI service, AI search. You can combine both in just one request. You don't need to search two different things. And also you can connect to Microsoft 365 here. So this is the final architecture. I will put this in the PowerPoint presentation later. You can download the file as well if you want. And basically this is the architecture behind the scenes. Let me show the structure behind the scenes that I built. So let me go to the Power Platform. So first of all, I have the Power Platform. Anyone here are using Power Platform? Okay. Anyone using solutions in Power Platform? Okay, good. So basically, here we have the Power Platform solution to organize the workflows, apps, environment variables, and so on that I have. So instead of saving it, or instead of using directly the items and the keys and the endpoints into the workflow, basically I was using the environment variables. So it's really simple to create this solution here. So in this case, you can go back to, so you can open make.powerapps.com, and basically you can go to solutions on the left-hand side, create a new solution, and basically you can pass some names to the solution, like display name, a publisher, and so on. And basically after that, it's good because in this case, you can export this solution later. I will provide this solution to you if you want to use to your clients, or if you want to take a look at the code behind the scenes. I will put into the presentation as well if you want to download it. But basically, it's really simple because you can export a solution or import to your environment as well. And here, I have some environment variables that I built, basically storing the chat completion endpoint, so the endpoint into the Azure AI solution. So as you can see here, the endpoint information with the chat completion. I have the same content for Whisper, but it's not the best practice because in this case, if I need to change the connection, I need to go to the solution and change the references. But I will change with you during the session. So in this case, I have another workflow here that is called summary. This one, let me open this workflow here. We already have. So this workflow here. And basically inside this workflow, I'm using the old version. So inside this workflow, I have when a message is received. So basically today I'm connecting with my current account, but you can connect to the bot account, or you can connect to a service account to receive those audio messages. In this case, I am extracting the information by using parse.json. Because by default, this content, there's no content, there's no audio message, there's no enough information that I need to do. So in this case, I'm extracting just to provide the details to the Microsoft Graph. And then once I'm extracting this information, so if I scroll down, I have applied to each because sometimes we can have like multiple messages, but in this case, I'm just sending one message, receiving one message. I'm using Microsoft Graph to pass the data ID that basically, and also today I'm passing the connection here as well, the authentication with client ID, client secret, just to store the information and also to maintain the connection with Microsoft Graph secure. Or we can use password. So in this case, if you want to, by using your user and password, but this is not the best practice because in this case, if you need to escalate it to different clients, all users will be able to see your user and password. Even if we're using MFA, it's not the best practice. And also if you're using MFA, it will fail this connection as well. So let me close the HTTP. So after the HTTP request, I'm receiving the attachments for each message that we have. So as you can see here, we have the content URL, we have the content, the thumbnail, if we are sending a video, YouTube video to the Teams message. So we have a lot of options, not only to extract the audio messages as well. I'm opening each attachment that we have. And also in this case, I'm taking a look at the duration. Because, for example, if we have an audio with 10 minutes, probably we have a timeout when we are asking we are sending the request to the Whisper. So in this case, we need to be careful with the duration or set a limit to the users just to prevent not like exposing your data, but by using like 10,000 tokens, 10,000 tokens just to extract an audio message. So in this case, you need to be careful with that. But in this case, I'm just extracting the media, and then let me open the audio message, and then I'm using the run a child flow. In this case, just to extract the AI endpoints. So what we can use in different ways, but I'm using the AI endpoints just to extract the information that I need. I'm passing the model as well. So in this case, if I need to change the workflow there, so let me open the second workflow. That is a child workflow. This is a best practice when we are using different actions and multiple actions inside the workflow, because in this case, let me change to switch to the old version. So basically, when we have a lot of actions, often we split in different workflows, and also we can execute the child workflows just to have just to extract, and also if you need to change anything here, it will be good. So I have a condition. It's hard coded. So in this case, it's hard coded. If the model value equals whisper, I'm responding by using the environment variable, but this is not the best practice. How can I automate this? Instead of changing the target workflow, I can only change the child flow. So if I change the child flow, I can save it, and also it's available for all users, so all users can use this structure here. So I will show in a minute how to do that. And also in this case, I'm requesting to the endpoint, to the whisper endpoint. I'm passing the content by using mode part. So as you can see here, we are asking form data and also passing the content. We are passing as MP4 just to ensure that is an audio message. So if you know that is a video, you can go to a different way. So let me close it. The output will be, so this is the compose that I'm basically passing the system prompt that I have here. You are an AI solutions expert for CollabDays Madrid, expert in voice AI agents, receive as an input as a text transcript for a salesperson recorded audio described recent meeting. So in this case, you can change the system prompt. Instead of storing in the workflow as well, you can store on the database, or you can store in different place. If you need to change the system prompt to test a different scenario, you can go to the database, change the prompt, and also you can allow a data scientist to do that instead of changing the Power Automate workflow. And once they save this information, basically it's reflecting to the content directly. The second workflow, the second execution is basically to extract the chat completion. And also in this case, I'm just passing the output, like the message with the assistant prompt, and also giving the option to the AI to extract this information. And later, I'm sending the message to my account here. So in this case, I can change the recipient, and also we can have, instead of using the flow bot, for example, I can use Power Virtual Agents, that is Copilot Studio, to send an audio message to start a conversation with the user. So you can do this option as well. So in this case, I have a SharePoint list that basically I'm storing the endpoints. So in this case, the model settings list, that I have the endpoint here, the chat completion, the value, and also the API key, and so on, for each model, and also my instructions. So instead of just using hard-coded into the workflow, basically I can go to the child workflow, for example, and also I can change the connection here. Another recommendation, when we are using SharePoint, for example, instead of just creating the connection here, like add an action, SharePoint, and also here, get items. So instead of doing that, get items and pass the SharePoint list, the SharePoint site, SharePoint list, and so on. So often this action takes like 2 or 3 seconds depending on the items that you are retrieving. So in this case, what you can do is basically you can use the HTTP request. The HTTP request is the best way to extract the information from SharePoint, depending on the size of your list, of course. But you can retrieve the same content in 0.5 seconds instead of expending like 2 or 3 seconds to do this action. When we are talking about user experience, we often prefer to reduce 1 second, because at the end of the process, we are reducing 1 second in just one request. So it's good. So we have the HTTP request here available. That is send HTTP request to SharePoint. And also here, I have my SharePoint API. By default, for SharePoint list, we often have the API behind the scenes. So in this case, I'm only passing, let me zoom in. Let me copy this information here, paste into the document. And then I'll be able to zoom in here. So let me open this one. So as you can see here, I'm passing the SharePoint site, the first part, /API, web, get list by ID, and also I'm passing the list by ID, by title, but you can pass by ID as well if you prefer to retrieve this content. And also I'm passing a filter like model equals system prompt, or you can retrieve like model equals chat completion, and also you can retrieve content from that specific API. If you want to, so behind the scenes, SharePoint has a lot of columns. As you can see here, we have the title, model, author, ID, editor, datetime, and so on. We have a lot of columns. Sometimes we can just ignore some of them. Like we can pass like filter or select. And also I want to retrieve only the title and the value. So in this case, we are reducing the content. It's better because we are reducing like in 0.5 seconds is 0.2 seconds. So in this case, we can reduce the columns as well. So in this case, what I can do is, so I can copy this request here and also select the SharePoint site. It will be Madrid. Let me check if I have the yeah, here we go. So I can paste this information here, model settings, items, model equals, let me check the column name, just to ensure that I'm passing the right information. Yeah, model name, whisper, and chat completion. So in this case, we can use like chat completion. So instead of using system prompt, I can retrieve this content from the trigger, for example. So let me go here, let me remove this space here to be better to see the information. So in this case, I can select the verbal called model, the input from the end user. So in this case, I'm requesting this information to the SharePoint. By default, if I execute this action here, probably let me execute this action here first. By default, I'm not storing this output yet, but I'll change in a minute. So let me run manually. Here we go. Let me sign in to my SharePoint account. Model chat completion. Often I do that when I'm using HTTP requests, because if you try to extract the column by using HTTP requests, it's a little bit tricky. So what you can do is you can see the output here. As you can see, we have the title, values, all items for chat completion. So as you can see, we have two items. The first one is the endpoint, and the second one is the API key. So what I can do is I can copy this output here. I can edit this workflow. And the second action that I can add below the SharePoint action. So basically I can use parse JSON. So data operation, parse JSON. And here I can select the body. So if I try to find the model or the title, there's no information about the SharePoint site, because we are using HTTP request. So that is the reason that sometimes it's not finding the content. But I can see the body. That is the output. And also I can select generate from sample. I can paste the content here. As you can see, we have the title. I can delete the metadata and also delete here as well, just to have the template. So this is the template available that I'm passing to the SharePoint. So let me select close it. So if I add an action, create an action called compose. So I will select the first item. So this is the value. So as you can see here, we have multiple items. That is the value output. But in this case, if I want to select just one item, I can see the input, the output here. Body results. So what I can do is I can copy this information here, for example. If you want to improve this, instead of using apply to each and so on, sometimes you can use just first. So if you use first, basically you're retrieving the first content, or the last to retrieve the last item. So in this case, you can pass a filter or something like that. So this is another way to retrieve the content. Let me execute it just to show you the option that we can get the content instead of just sending it manually or hard-coded to the AI, to the other workflow. Let me open here. So as you can see here, 0 seconds, 0 seconds. in 1 second here, because it's applied to it, it's executing twice. But as you can see here, this is the output, this is the endpoint, and also the second one is the API key. So this is really important. For example, when we are using apply to each, another recommendation when we are using Power Automate workflows, if you are not using verbals inside the apply to each, what you can do is basically you can select the ellipses, and also you can go to settings, and here you can execute in concurrence. So in this case, you can accelerate the process to execute the workflow as well. So in this case, instead of using just one time, so you can execute like 20 items at the same time. But be careful with that, because one client was not using this solution here, and also the workflow for 3,000 items were expanding like 2 days in total. I have applied this concurrence control 20 items only in parallel, and also we reduced like to 2 days, from 2 days to 14 minutes. So in this case, 99% of the reduction, but the problem is the client was using the trial license. In this case, Microsoft is the first workflow works fine. The second one, Microsoft is basically affecting the performance into the tenant, into the Power Platform environment. So in this case, you need to buy a premium license to execute it, because in this case, with the premium license, you can execute 250,000 items per day per workflow. So in this case, we have a lot of items per workflow per user. So in this case, it's really good when we are using concurrence as well. But in this case, the last action before we finish this session. So in this case, I'm just using an AI to send the output. But how can I connect it with AI Builder or Copilot Studio, for example? So basically, by default, if I open Copilot Studio, and also AI Builder is built by default right now. So I will open only Copilot Studio. But Copilot, be careful with the environment as well that you are using. So in this case, I'm using Renato Romão's environment. So I need to switch to a different environment as well. So I'm using the default one. Let me switch the environment. So what we have here, when we are using Copilot Studio, right now we can build autonomous agents that basically we don't need to wait a message from the end user. So we can start from an action. Could be when an email is received, when a message is received on Teams, or any other action. So in this case, we are using autonomous agent. How can I do that? So basically, I need to go to the Copilot Studio bot agent. Right now, it's not Copilot, it's agents. And also inside the agents, we'll be able to enable the orchestration first. So this is really important. And the second part is the, let me try to find here, the trigger. So as you can see here, there's a trigger for this Excel plus Copilot agent. In this case, behind the scenes, when we are creating a trigger to start this Copilot Studio agent, basically it's a workflow. It's a Power Automate workflow behind the scenes. So in this case, if this agent is available for my user, what I can do is, instead of sending a message to the Teams, I can send a message to the chatbot, to the Copilot Studio. The Copilot Studio can read the content, look at the database, look at the knowledge, take some actions, and then send the output to the end user by using the agent, instead of just sending hard-coded as a Teams action here, as a workflow action, Power Automate workflow action. So in this case, I'll be able to find Copilot Studio. Probably I need to switch to the new designer to see the best, this is the best approach. But basically, when we are talking about Copilot Studio, there's an action called Execute Copilot. And here, I can just select the Copilot. So in this case, I have a lot of Copilots here. And also, I can find my Copilot for that specific environment, select the Copilot, and basically send the message. And also, this one could be the output. Instead of sending to the Teams, I can just copy here and send to the agent. Another option that you have, so let me try to switch to the new version. So it's better. I don't know if it will works. No, it's not working. Let me open the new workflow here. it's not working because I was using some actions to force it by using the classic. But basically, when I'm not using the same workflow, but just to demonstrate it to you. So basically, when we are using the new version, the new designer, we'll be able to run a prompt here by using AI Builder. So in this case, if we search by AI Builder, we have a lot of actions. And one of the actions we have is to execute, let me see more. So as you can see here, we have a lot of actions, process, prompts, and so on. And also one of the actions that we have here is to run a prompt. And basically to run a prompt, we can select an existing prompt or I can create from scratch. And here I'm just passing the instructions to the AI, and the AI, I can choose the model as well. So as you can see here, we have the GPT for O mini, for O1, and also probably in the future we'll have more options. And also if you want to use your own model, basically you can use Azure AI Foundry to choose your specific model. But basically when we are using AI Builder inside Power Automate workflows, we can pass some inputs to the AI Builder. The AI Builder can recognize the message and send the output to the user. So in this case, we often do AI Builder, for example, to analyze the content from a PDF file. So if I'm receiving an invoice message, so what I can do is instead of passing to the Azure OpenAI model, I can pass to the Azure AI Builder. I can pass the file. I can pass that I can explain that I'm passing an invoice file. And also I want to have this output here with this JSON structure. And also the output will be here. So in this case, you can test. And also it's really simple. If you want to create some inputs, basically you can add content here. You can create like text, document, and so on. And then you can save, and also you can use it. So that's it. Any questions? All good? Thank you very much. Let me do the ruffle quickly before switching. So let me go here. CollabDays. Let me get the responses. Here we go. Let me remove the test because it's my information. Here we go. Yeah. Oscar. Sí, sí, claro. Gracias. Gracias.